Alright, well, unfortunately, so I might be stuck with them, so apologies. This is not going to be as good as I like, but I'm already starting, so I'm kind of commit. I don't want to just kind of give up and say, sorry. So, let's try to suffer through them, shall we? Ooh. So, first thing we want to do is power up the basic devices. We there, and over here. Whew. Hopefully I can cut these out when I connect or get this edited down, but we'll see. We'll see. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna connect this to the switch here. But this is the debugger and what we're gonna be using for the network. So I'm gonna call this, give this a purple as well. Next, I'm going to connect the server to the switch. And then I'm going to grab this and take the cable. Oh, that might get a 1000. So let's grab a 1000 real quick. In the meantime, let's connect this fiber optic down to this one. So I'm going to now get a note down up here. Now, LUFK. Fiber op DC port 0. Now, a lot of that information is going to be unnecessary, but oof, it's good to have. Next, we're going to go to the shell. First thing I'm going to do is type always using this. Now, how I got this is I right-click on the device. It'll copy that hardware address there. That saves you from having to go always using, 66, blah, 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 whatever. And this will automatically tack on. So let's just do a command real quick to show you. So let's say I want to take this device. I am going to say, I'm going to do a route show on this router. But it tells me I'm missing the using, because it doesn't know what debugger I want to use to connect to the network with. So if I do always using the debugger's hardware address, and I try that same command, now it'll work no problem. Oh, shit. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the default route. Now, here's the thing. If you look, the unmapped traffic, the default traffic is being forwarded to port 0. AKA it's going to be sent down this line. But this is going to the ingress, not the egress. So, the plan is to send it back over here to the switch, which has which is going to have a DNS server. So we're going to say route default via port 4, so just 4, on this router. And now if we do the route show command again, on this device is now being forwarded via port 4. Meaning that'll be sent over this switch, and then this switch will send it down to this server. Next, I'm going to do program list to get a list of all the current software that I have access to. For this one being a basic server, we're now going to do program install DNS Lite on, right click again, and right click to paste, and that'll install it. Now if we do program view installed on this server, we now see it has the DNS Lite. If we view running, we can see that it's running DNS Lite. Oh, okay, so we now have a basic network going here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually, before we do anything, for one, let's try to get this one, and that is awesome. We can reuse this for some other purpose. Also, if you want to get rid of empty boxes, you can just press T without the shell open. Press T and it'll just delete it. Now, before I move on, I am going to go back to the market, and I'm going to get a 500 fiber optic. A green. That way, I can connect 1 and 2. Now, you might be wondering why I'm doing that. The reason is because 1 is going to be a consumer, but floor 2 is going to be a provider. So, floor 1, the normal customers are going to be consumers. They're going to consume services. Floor 2 is going to have providers, which provide the services. You can also make your own services, which is helpful, and it definitely can lead to extra money. But I don't really use them beyond VoIP. If you want to, great. I might actually look into how to do that just to show you guys. For now, we now have 2 fiber optics, so I'm now gonna document this one. DC port 1. Now, let's head on up to floor 1. Now that we have a basic network down there. So, we now have these 3 consumers. They're going to want to be connected to the data center and to the network. Now, you could absolutely do just server or floor-to-floor communication, and that is a way of doing it, but I definitely prefer the hub-and-spoke model, and I don't remember exactly. Give me 1 sec. Let's see here. Save game. Knowledge. Now, let's go back to the main menu, because I want to look at science. Here we go. All right. How did I have these network addresses set up? Because next thing is gonna be network addresses and routers. I think those are gonna be the next things to really talk about. So this is a more complete game that I use for science and testing. So there's a lot more stuff going on that you guys should worry or think about later on, but it won't be as bad later. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I had zone or 10 dash, and then I had zone, floor looks like, and then just whatever. Yeah, okay. Ooh. Yep, so. So now that I know that, let's go back. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ. I do apologize for this. Just, I guess something like, I guess it's what I ate, because, jeez. Alright, let's get back to this. Am I still? No, I'm not. So let's go back and just coffee this up. Let's go 0.25 right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a switch. And we have 4 users, or 3 users, my bad. And that also has a barrel jack, so that's going to be a DC adapter. However, I'm going to make this a zone hub. So, honestly, yeah, let's just make it a zone hub. That way you guys can see what it looks like. I'm going to add a router as well. Once again, we'll get into why later. Well, here in a minute, I should say. Next, I'm going to need to get 15, 1,015 or so. And these are going to be orange. Sure. Oof. Now, I only have one plug, but I have 2 devices I need to power. So, I'm going to need a power expander. Now keep in mind, oh actually no, this is, Mr. Cable, this is by Tenable. Okay. Oof. Now keep in mind, this also uses one of the other UK ones. So let's go back to this and get A500, because that's the shortest, I believe. Next, we're going to want 2 of the barrel, the DC adapters. And I think that's it. Let's check out and send it to this floor. Oh, no, I forgot something. So, we want to connect to a fiber down at the data center, but we only have Ethernet. So, we're going to go to the rocket store. I am now going to get, where is it? The Socketeer app. I'm going to buy it for 500. I am now going to select an SC fiber socket, and I'm going to place this. Now, I think it's, I'm trying to remember the hotkey for this. I think it's G. There we go. All right. So if you hold G, you can actually snap to this grid. I'm going to place it here. And I'm going to pay the 500 to place it. Next, I am going to grab the fiber connection. Let's place... Where's the router? I thought I grabbed the router. There it is. Looks like that'll be a 200, so that's fine. So I'm going to make that green again. In the meantime, I can start setting this stuff up. So what I like to do is I have this kind of set up. Ooh, okay. Looks like a 200 won't work for both of these. Oh, it will. Okay. Next, I'm also going to get a blue for the connection between these two. And then I'm going to connect port 0 to here. And now while we wait for that, let's start connecting these. So I have 1,000, 1,500. So let's connect this guy all the way over to here. This guy all the way here. And then we can connect to this guy. Yeah, so that's just barely too long for 1K. Now, you might notice that I skipped this port. That is because switches are kind of like real-life hubs. They're not smart, they're just they're dumb devices. Basically, they'll take each port left to right, I guess 0 through 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll check, can I connect, if I connect or go through here, can I get to the destination and that they're asking for? And if not, they'll just move or go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Routers are actual routers, I'd say. You can give them a bunch of routing rules and say that will kind of dictate how it routes traffic. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to, where is it? The Tower Link app, and I'm going to say on floor 0 to floor 1, I have this AKBM outlet. This is a fiber outlet, so it'll kind of gray out all the Ethernet ones and only kind of leave the fiber outlets. I want to go to the LUFK fiber, so LUFK right there. We link it, and if you look, so I saw that. I'll kind of just set this up real quick, just kind of show you. But it has a setup cost, but it also has a daily cost. For longer runs of fiber, you might have a higher setup cost overall, but your daily cost will be lower than what it would cost for an Ethernet connection for the same amount of traversals. If you look, like the default only has a traversal of 15. The highest has 45. Fiber starts out at 20. Let's see here. If I go to a fiber, this can go all the way up to 140, which is why hubs are fiber only, while on floor to hub floors, it's going to be more of Ethernet to Ethernet. So, no, we don't have to worry about that right now. And another thing you might notice is that I connected this to port 0 for the data center connection. That's because as we saw, routers default to port 0 to send a lot of traffic to. Now let's go up to floor 2 and start prepping the provider. Now if you, oh, this one doesn't have it. Okay. So as you can see, we have a fiber connection and a mail hub. We go to the Surveyor app to see everybody's everybody in the tower, you can see that we only have this guy, and this is a provider. It provides these services to users. Now you can see that these complaints here, DHCP, you don't really have to worry about. And I'm going to be setting up just a quick. Oof, Jesus Christ. I'm going to do what I did last time. Except this time I don't need a switch because there's only a single connection on this floor. So, oh yeah, I can do a router, a connection. Oi, jeez. Okay. And now I need the Ethernet cable, right? Sorry, I'm really distracted by the damn hiccups. We might be able to get away with a orange termination, okay. Or with a 1,000. 1,000. Ooh. Once we get back down to the data center, I'll kind of explain the switch versus router thing in a bit more detail. Because then I actually have to set up routes and stuff. Oh, fuck. Did I get up? I think I got a fiber. Is there anything in this that's really necessary? No, not really. Okay. Ooh, okay. Ooh, hello. That went flying. Okay. That tells me that 200 will not work. Looks like I'm going to need to get a 500 barrel. And I'm also going to need to get the fiber. Goes from here to there, so about... Can I get it below? I can. Awesome. Now, if you look, the price of the 100 fiber is 1. 500 fiber is 5. 1500 is 25. So, if you can get away with a shorter cable, try to get away with a shorter cable. You obviously don't have to, especially with how cheap it is. But if you can, yeah, go and try it. Anyway, up here, we'll talk about this real quick. Meters. In, I think it was 0.9 or whatever, they implemented these. Basically, each floor has its own power meter that is measuring how much power your devices consume. If it goes over 7.2 kilowatt hours, it will actually tack on an extra fee to the power bill every day. Now, just gotta... Oh, there it is. Alright. I do think I'm gonna have to bring my, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna have to bring in my debugger up here. Anyway, in the meantime, let's grab this. WMFD. WMFD. Then Fickle, right here, will be the providers. Now, there's a couple things that we now have to do. We know that we are connecting to the network from this debugger, which means we have access to the switch. With the way switches operate, it will try this route first to get to wherever we need to go. If that fails, it will then go down to here. Now here's the next thing. This router, if we try to send a packet to it, saying, "Hey, where I want to get to XYZ," and it doesn't have a route for XYZ, it'll just shrug and send it back to the switch. I assume it is smart enough to realize that it failed, or it got just in the packet and got sent back. In fact, we can actually test that right now. So if we take the hardware address, copy the user details here, and we just try to trace this hardware address of user, you can see it starts here at the debugger. It then gets sent to the switch 95344. Then it's going to try. Yes, it'll try the router first. It does not know what to do with the router, so it just gets dropped or sent back. Looks like it just gets sent back, and then I'll try the server. That doesn't have any routing capability, so it just fails there as well. And then apparently it goes back, and then yeah, so it just so it just fails. Good to know. Now, here's the next thing. How do we get or tell this router to that a certain address gets sent through a certain port? That is where the route add command comes in. So if we just man route add, it'll show all these details, and it gives a lot of detail examples, as well as the direct commands with the inputs. Now, here's what we can do, or how we can do things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to disconnect my debugger and the cable. Well, not that one. Not that power cable, this power cable. Because we're going to go on an adventure. And I'm also going to get a power expander up there real quick. Ooh, was that was... Okay, that's being sent down here. Never mind. Alright. I'm going to take a real quick break and try to get rid of these hiccups again. Be right back. Okay, well that's not working. Okay, it's probably not my day. I'm just gonna give up. I know it's not gonna be as fun to watch if I'm hiccuping all the time like that. So I'm just gonna give up and stream some other day. Unfortunately, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do, but we will see. I think I'll just leave this as a VOD, but I'm not gonna upload it to my YouTube channel. It's because of the poor quality. Yeah. So, sorry about all of this shit. Getting your hopes up, but yeah, I'm not gonna make people suffer through this. So hopefully I can stream some other time. Have a good one.